Hey, family, welcome to another episode of the Saturday Sit Down, hosted by your two favorites, Miss Lovey, host of Live, Laugh, and Lovey, and myself, Miss Aaron, host of the Beacon of Truth podcast. How are you this evening?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. So I see you in your studio. Is that what we got going on?
I'm is. I finally made the big move. I needed more room. It still sounds kind of hollow in here, but it's okay. It's coming along.
It's good. I like it.
Well,
That
thank
was
you.
that was perfect right there. I know you were debating between the wallpaper and all, but that definitely works.
Even though I had asked, hint, hint, someone to help me put these pictures up, hint, hint, but that didn't happen, so I had to put it up myself, and they're a little crooked, but it's okay.
Oh, you had to put them up behind the desk that somebody built.
What are
Oh,
you
okay.
saying, Todd?
Exactly, exactly. And can I just point out that those pictures just flat on the wall like that look very nice because you were afraid, oh, it's going to look plain. It's going to look empty. No, it's the bomb, boo. Okay.
Okay. Well, thank you. So now all I need is this.
Oh, yeah. You
Yeah,
ready for it too.
I am.
Ooh, you're going
Shoot.
to be making me look bad. I'm going to have to get me a studio. Oh,
It's coming in the
man.
house. It's coming in the new house.
Okay.
Hmm
I'm jealous. Don't put that out no more. Like, let me say, I'm still over here fighting with birds and echoes.
Well, I might have birds and echoes when I connect this, so we'll see. But how
But
are you? How's the wedding plans going?
yeah, they're coming along. I'm trying to pace myself. I took a weekend off from the wedding planning stuff. I
Mm.
didn't. Actually, I was supposed to go look at a venue today and yesterday, but yesterday I didn't get off work in time to go, and then they had to reschedule the one that I had today. So I just figured it was divine intervention. Take a break because I've been going hard.
Yeah, you have.
Yeah, I've been going hard.
Yes, you have.
But I mean, I got the dress, we got the wedding ring. I got a veil in today, but I didn't like it, so I got another one coming in Monday.
Okay.
So we're making baby steps, and then
I thought you was about to say we making babies. I was like,
girl,
what?
uh, no,
I mean, hey, science has come a long way since Biden been in office.
G- girl. Okay, nevertheless, speaking of which, let's just jump right into that.
Right.
Okay, so we're gonna break down. We're gonna break down Biden's executive orders. Not all of them, because he put out like 42 in the week and a half that he's been in office. But I got just a few of the top ones that were to me anyway. But nevertheless, let me just tell you about them real quick. So he issued an executive order on strengthening Medicaid and Affordable Care Act, which reopens enrollment on healthcare.gov from February 15th to through May 15th, and directs federal agencies to re-examine policies that may reduce or undermine access to Affordable Care Act. So, of course, the Republicans or whatever they calling themselves these days, the invisibles, they don't like that, but he is or by President Biden is standing firm on his word to make sure that all Americans have access to affordable health care. So shout out for that. And then he issued a series of executive orders in regards to equality. One of which was an executive order directing the phase out of private prisons by not renewing contracts from the DOJ, from the Department of Justice. So
Now,
this
what does that mean?
he's severing. Basically, he's cutting the contracts to for federal funding for private prisons.
So that means like private donors?
No, there are some privately owned prisons. All prisons are not owned or owned by the government.
Oh.
Yeah,
Oh, that's what that means. Okay, I never knew that. You
yeah.
know, I've known people to go to prison, but I ain't never got that deep in it.
But so that plays into the equality piece because of the privately owned prisons, there were some kickbacks and they're for profit. So of course, how do you earn your profit? Through prisoners.
Mhm.
So there were some instances where judges were being not really coerced, but like encouraged, kind of paid off to give longer sentences. Um, and so that's the importance of severing that tie with the private prisons. And then yeah, there he is. Let's pause for a
He
Goldie
he
break.
not gonna be able to stay up here long because I'm in my desk chair and it's not enough room for all of us. So I saw him circling the bottom of my desk, and I'm like, oh my god, he's gonna get up here. Okay, 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 okay. All right.
Yeah. And he's gonna make you hold him. I don't know how that's
Oh
gonna
no,
work.
that's not gonna happen. Oh no,
Okay.
no, no. Get down. Get down. Move. Go ahead. Go ahead. Proceed. Okay. Jesus.
Gotta
And
love
that
the
is
kids.
live. Move.
I love it. That's hilarious. Oh, that is so hilarious. Okay, so
Yeesh.
continuing with the equality executive orders, President Biden also issued a memorandum condemning racism and xenophobia against Asian Americans and Pacific Islanders in response to the coronavirus pandemic, and instructing the Department of Health and Human Services to consider best practices to mitigate language and guidance that could further racism. So, obviously you remember when coronavirus first started, you had the previous president, the former president,
Mm-hmm.
calling it the age, what did he call it, kung flu, the
Yeah.
China virus and things like
Mm-hmm.
that, which encouraged violence and just mistreatment of Asian and or Asian Americans and Pacific Islanders, because I guess ignorance doesn't know the difference, but nevertheless.
Right.
He also issued a memorandum directing agencies to mitigate racial bias in federal housing policies. Um, I didn't see, so I need a little more understanding on that. I mean, I get that on its face, but I don't know if you remember or not. But one of the things that 45 did was roll back some of the Obama era protections that he put
Some.
in place. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
to combat housing discrimination. So I mean, it's all good that he is directing the agencies to mitigate racial bias. Okay, great, but we need to get those Obama policies back in place as well. And also, he issued an executive order on enabling all qualified Americans to serve their country in uniform. And what that does is reverse the Trump administration's ban on transgender Americans joining the military.
Yep.
In regards to climate control, he rejoined the Paris Climate Accord. And then the rest of them, I think, are pretty much on the coronavirus, which, let's see. So, hey, Miss Cruiser. Um,
Hey, hey, hey.
so he directed FEMA to expand reimbursement to states to fully cover the costs for National Guards personnel and emergency supplies when it comes to distributing the vaccine and doing COVID-19 testing and stuff like that. He also launched a 100 days masking challenge, asking Americans to wear masks for 100 days, and also requiring mask and physical distancing in federal buildings, on federal lands, and by government contractors, and urges states and local governments to do the same. He created more, he issued an executive order that creates more vaccination sites and also provides guidance for the safe reopening of schools. And he also stopped the withdrawal of the U.S. from the World Health Organization.
Mm-hmm.
In regards to immigration, he requires non citizens to be included in the census and apportionment of congressional representatives. He also strengthened DACA. However you
DACA.
say it. There we go. And he reversed Trump administration. I said it, but it's on my paper. But reversed the Trump administration's restrictions on U.S. entry for passport holders from 7 Muslim majority countries. He also issued an order for the revision of civil immigration enforcement policies and priorities, which undoes Trump's expansion of immigration enforcement. And he also halted the construction of the border wall. So again, he issued 42 executive orders over the past week and a half. I just pretty much covered the bigger ones, but you can just Google and see exactly what all of the executive orders were.
Mhm. 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 Where's my money?
All right, I got some information on that too. Hello, Courtney Jones. I'm coming in super black, super late. We've only been here for 11 minutes, but no shade.
Super black.
So, in regards to your STEMI number 3, assuming that Congress is able to pass Biden's relief bill in mid-February to mid-March, Americans could receive the third stimulus check anywhere from late February to late March. Basically, a third check isn't coming for probably at least another month. Um, he'll need at least 10 Republican senators to pass the plan without a filibuster. But the $1,400 checks and other parts may be passed via the reconciliation process, which means that, or it would allow the Senate to pass a possible bill with just 51 votes. So it would be the Senate plus vice president.
Okay. Run me my money.
Right.
Mhm. That part.
And sticking with the theme of politics, let's talk about QAnon lady. Okay. QAnon lady's name is Marjorie Taylor Greene. Supposedly, she's an American politician. Okay, supposedly. But she is definitely a U.S. representative from Georgia's 14th congressional district. And she is an alumni of the University of Georgia. Imagine that.
What? Why are you surprised?
Oh, I'm not.
Oh.
I'm not. That just goes to what I say. I mean, UGA is great for football, horrible for politics. But nevertheless, because, of course, that's where the current governor is from as well, or graduated from. But she's been in the news lately because at least 50 House Democrats have called for her to be removed from Congress, and others are demanding that she be censored or face punishment after a number of her inflammatory comments have come to light. So some of her comments are that she denied that a plane hit the Pentagon on 9/11. She supported the idea that the Parkland school shooting was a false flag operation meant to usher in tighter gun laws. Basically, it didn't happen. She agreed that Hillary Clinton was recorded filleting a child's face.
What filleting?
Filleting, like you fillet a fish. Yes. Right. She supports QAnon, and she has said that Muslims do not belong in government. She also filed articles of impeachment on President Biden's first day, which she said she was going to do. I don't know how far that's gotten. She's also not only expressed support for the QAnon conspiracy theories, she supported the murder of Nancy Pelosi via a bullet to her head. Um,
But they're trying to say that that statement was prior to her elected office.
mm, it doesn't matter.
Right. That's her argument. Well, that was before I was elected. So that shouldn't count.
Right. And then Cori Bush from Missouri is having her office moved away from QAnon lady because she refuses to wear a mask.
I just don't understand how is it this late in the game these people are still against and do not believe in wearing masks. Now they telling us that we need to double up.
Right.
because of the
Varying
South
strains.
African, yeah, strain that's hit our neighbor, South Carolina. So who's to say that mug might just hit here
Right.
real quick? Because that person didn't travel to South Africa. They didn't travel anywhere.
Right.
So it was brought to the state.
Yeah, it is too much, China. It's too much. So, um, yeah, I'm getting the vaccine. I don't know when. Whenever I'm eligible. I know I was wavering, like maybe, nope, I'm getting it. Um, Speaking of which, both of my parents have gotten their the first round of the vaccine, and V's job is actually giving him the vaccine, which actually they should. He drives for Tyson.
Hmm.
They're part of the reason for the spread of the way that the coronavirus did out there. They're headquartered in Arkansas. They had a plant one or two shut down in Iowa. They were spreading it all through their meat packing plant. So yes, please.
I don't understand. I just don't understand it. Like, these people are dumb as hell. Like, what is it gonna take? What is it gonna take for y'all to get it? But no, you go ahead and I'm surprised ain't none of these people died.
Girl.
Or more people, because they have lost a couple of people.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was gonna say that, Miss Cruiser, that they were coming up with one that where it just takes one shot instead of 2 rounds.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
And the other thing about the Johnson and Johnson shot is that one, it is one dose, so it wouldn't require a second dose a few weeks later. So that'll make it easier for everybody to get fully vaccinated. It still has good numbers as far as protecting you from the coronavirus, and it has a higher level of protecting you from severe illness should you get the coronavirus. And it doesn't have to be frozen. It does have to be refrigerated, but it doesn't have to be frozen. So that should make it easier for uh, disbursement.
Yeah, there was a story in the news this week where there was like I forgot what state it was in, but it was like a big, massive pileup on the freeway. And there was a car full of nurses that was transporting vaccines, the doses. And because they were stuck on the highway, the time was ticking. So they got rid of it by issuing the vaccination to people in their cars.
Yeah, I want to say it was in Oklahoma,
Okay.
and it was in the snow. That it was a pileup because a tractor trailer crashed across the road, so it was shut down on both
Mhm.
sides. So
Mhm.
I mean, not the good thing, but the good thing about them is that they were traveling with the doctor. They basically were a mobile vaccination unit anyway. So they had everything except for the patients,
Right.
except for the people. So they just like, hey, you want to get a vaccine?
Right, right, right. Which is awesome. That's great.
Right.
Mhm. 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 And what else going on in the news? What else? What else?
Let's see. Would you have taken it if you were stuck on? Yeah, I would have took it because they had all the credentials and they had a certified doctor to be there to monitor you, like you normally would if you went to a facility and got your vaccination. So
I would have.
yeah, I mean, you would have to show me some credentials. You know what I mean? You can't just be like, "Hey, I got this vaccine." Like, no,
Unlike the boy, did you hear about the guy that was passing it around to his friends and family?
no,
Yes, girl, he was stealing the vials or vowels. Is it vials
vials,
or vowels?
vials.
Yeah, and was giving it to his friends and family. Like, you get a vaccine, and you get a vaccine. Hey, it's gonna go bad anyway. Here, let's go ahead and take it. Oh yeah.
And then, it wouldn't even be any point in taking. I mean, yeah, you'd be protected, but you don't have the records to show that you've been vaccinated. So you still going to get, essentially, if you got the 2-dose shot, you're going to have to get 2 more. So now that vaccine was actually wasted on you.
Mhm. 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 Mhm.
Two
and he wasn't
people.
certified.
So what was he?
I forgot. I can't remember, but he wasn't like he works in the medical field, but he's not certified to issue a vaccination.
Oh. Mm,
Yeah,
mm, mm, mm.
these people crazy. So yeah, of course charges are being brought up on them. Hmm.
They were saying that Chick-fil-A was going to try and plan on having it available in the drive-through.
Not their drive-through, but they were going to. But if I heard the story correctly, that they were going to assist with setting up a vaccine station, drive-through station.
Oh, that's the perfect people.
Yeah, yeah, because they're gonna get you in and out.
Okay.
Hmm.
And they gonna give you some Polynesian sauce to go. Like,
Could I get an 8 count with my shoulder?
girl. Okay, first of all, my mom went to Chick-fil-A and got an 8 count nugget. Maybe a 6 count. Did they have a 6 count?
In the kids' meal.
Oh, okay. So then, no, she got an 8 count. Why they gave her like a sauce for every nugget?
What?
Girl, she had like 5 Polynesian sauces and 8 honey mustards. And it was just one box of nuggets. The other two were sandwiches.
Well, you might want to put it on a sandwich.
Mm,
I
mm.
do.
I tried it. It's okay.
Now I want some Chick-fil-A.
Really. Tell me more, fat ass.
I know you ain't talking. Where's my cake plate? Did they eat the cake?
Yes, anime. We ate the cake. But yes, I did need to bring that back to you. Thanks for reminding me right now.
Hmm.
I had someone take the vaccine and had an allergic reaction to it. Well, there's always a chance of that happening with any vaccine, especially if you have like seafood allergies. Like, I think they monitor you for 15 to 20 minutes. My mom has seafood allergies, so they monitored her for I think either 30 or 45 minutes just to make sure she didn't have any adverse reactions to it.
So do they ask if they have allergies?
Hmm.
Okay.
For any medical procedure, and but even before they give you medication or anything, they always ask you, "Do you have any allergies?"
Yeah, I knew that, but I wasn't sure about the vaccine. I've never taken a vaccine. One in what? Is that blood?
One and done? Is that what it means? I
Right,
don't
that's what I was saying. I was like, is that one and done?
know. I don't know. Somebody translate. I don't speak that. No.
Courtney.
Oh, well, let me get to my brand. I'm slow. But yeah, so that's a political recap. That's pretty much all that I have there. You have anything to contribute to that? Any comments, questions, concerns?
Only thing I didn't like about the QAnon lady, Marjorie, is I didn't like how I didn't know that one of the Park Parkland, Florida victims was now, is he in Senate or Congress? Probably
Um,
Senate, right?
I don't even know if he's in there, but I know I know him from Twitter.
Okay, well, he's working his way up.
Hmm.
Yeah. I mean, he's a true advocate for on the side of, gun control and just trying to stop all of the mass shootings, right? So she chased this little, because he can't be any more than probably what, like 20,
Yeah, he's
21.
yeah,
But she gonna shoot him down. Shoot him down. Whoo.
girl.
Chase him down while he's walking into the Capitol, towards the Capitol, and was basically everything that you kind of ran down as to what her beliefs are. She was spewing that to him as they're walking. And I'm just like, what? You
You
really sitting up
harassing
here?
somebody's child,
Right. But not only that, it's just like this, he lived through that.
right?
And for you to sit up here and try to say that, oh, it was a hoax. So it
Right.
wasn't as serious as it was made out to be. And oh, when did conspiracy theories become a thing, like publicly?
I don't know. I don't know. Like the only conspiracy theory that I knew that was publicly accepted was Santa Claus. Like we have come a long way from there. I don't know where this other stuff came from. Like uh I know that with some of the mass shootings that it was always speculation that it wasn't real, that it was staged or that it didn't happen. But those like the fringe conspiracy theories or whatever. I never knew it to be commonplace acceptance or anything. And I just don't see how you could vote for somebody that is so dismissive of reality. And not just, I what do you call it? Ideological differences. That's what politics is about. That's why we have, red and blue Democrats and Republicans. Or we used to have Republicans. I just call them
The
invisibles
Trump
now.
party.
Yeah. But
You gonna talk about Kevin McCarthy going to the White House? Yes, sir.
oh, he went to the White House?
I mean, not the White House,
Mar-a-Lago.
Mar-a-Lago,
Right. Going to
to
lick his boots.
apologize. Right. Anna Navarro, my spirit animal.
Right.
She was like, so basically, this is white slavery
Mm.
because you going to your master to beg for some type of mercy. I was like, God dang it, that doggone Anna Navarro. Oh, I love it. If y'all don't follow her, please do. Because she is, even though she's a Republican, but I still think she's a liberal at heart. But her view on all of this mess is the best. It is the best commentary on TV. Look her up.
Will do. Will do.
Hmm.
I I I want to say I follow her on Twitter. Or at least she comes across my feed somehow, whether it's being retweeted or I follow her. I don't know. I'm gonna look and see after that.
Yeah.
Don't be cussing Goldie out on the sly. I can see that little mute button popping up. But okay, so shifting over to entertainment. Um, Cicely Tyson passed away this Thursday at the age of 96. She was an actress and one-time model, which I didn't know she was a model. I didn't know that. And her career spanned over 7 decades.
Hmm.
She began her screen career with small parts and then gained fame in the early 1970s. And one thing about her is that she always refused to take part simply for the paycheck, and she was always choosy about the roles. She always took what do you want to call it? The strong black women roles.
Yep.
And I mean, obviously her filmography list or whatever is too long for me to name, but here are a few of some of my favorites anyway. Wilma, which was the Wilma Rudolph story, Heat Wave, Rosa Parks story, Women of Brewster Place, A Woman Called Moses, Mama Flores Family, Idlewild, Alex Cross, Bustin' Loose, Hoodlum, Why Did I Get Married To, Medea's Family Reunion, Diary of a Mad Black Woman, Miss Jane Pitt, or the autobiography of Miss Jane Pittman, Sounder, Roots, Fried Green Tomatoes, and A Lesson Before Dying. And she was married one time to jazz great Miles Davis, and the wedding was held in 1981, the year I was born, at Bill Cosby's home in Massachusetts.
Oh, it was determined to fail. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Right. And in 2016, she was awarded the Medal of Freedom by President Barack Obama.
Okay. Yeah, she's definitely gonna be missed. Definitely
Right.
gonna be
She was
missed.
up there with Betty White, Morgan Freeman.
Is Morgan Freeman that
I want to say yes. If
old?
not, he because they say black don't crack, but that's a little crusty right there. Go ahead, ask Alexa. I know that's what you're doing.
How
Or
old is
Google.
Morgan Freeman? 83.
Oh no, so he's not even close. I thought he was up there.
Oh, you just look it.
She was just on Good Morning America show earlier that week. Oh wow.
Yep. She is definitely gonna be missed. She is definitely one of the greats. We losing all of our greats because we lost Cloris Leachman too.
Mm-hmm.
I loved her. Like her sense of humor was the best.
Who is she?
Oh, you don't know about Cloris Leachman? Okay.
I may not know her by name.
Um, I'm trying to think of something that you would know her in. Well, did you used to watch Facts of Life?
Mm-hmm.
She was after Mrs. Garrett, like as they were teenagers working in the store.
Okay, next.
Okay. Um, oh God, her career spanned over decades as well. So you probably didn't watch Mary Tyler Moore either, right? Or have you seen Mary Tyler Moore?
I have seen it.
Okay, so I don't remember her character's name on that show, but she was in that show. Did you used to watch Raising Hope?
No.
Okay, so for those of us who like to watch TV, that's not black. You would know who I'm talking about. Like if you Google her right now, you would see her picture. You've seen her before.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, she lived to be 94, which I
Oh, okay.
thought that she was older than that, but that yeah, compared to everybody else, she was relatively young.
Mm.
So, but yeah, she was another great actress. Dry sense of humor, but hilarious. Hilarious. It was before your time, girl.
Oh, right. Mm.
Mhm. Mhm. Mhm.
What else we got in entertainment news?
So Kelly Rowland had another baby boy.
Okay.
Congratulations to her. Noah is his name.
Okay.
So that's baby number 2 for her. Pamela Anderson got married for the 6th time.
Mm.
Uh, okay.
We're not born in 1900. Oh, that was
Okay.
or 1908.
Okay. Well, I'm just saying. She don't know who I'm talking about though. So,
Yeah, we good.
mhm.
So Pamela Anderson, what married for the 6th time?
Mhm. Mhm.
Okay.
I'm gonna need for her to find Jesus. She doing too much. And these are not marriages that last. Okay. That might last a couple of months, maybe even a year. Girl, that ain't gonna last. Well, I don't know. You older. She probably about what, 56, 57, something like that. You too old to be sitting. Oh, I love him. I'm gonna get married. But I'm married because they've been quarantined together.
So what they gonna do when the quarantine is lifted?
I told you they're not gonna last. We're gonna see how that work out. And then in other news, I'll shout out to Michael Strahan. Keep him in your prayers because he did test positive for COVID.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that's. I don't know if he been out and about because I follow him on Instagram, but I haven't really been looking out for him. Oh, thank you, girl. Thank you, Courtney. It's coming along. Mhm. But yeah, that's all that I have for entertainment news. What? Why you blinking?
T.I. and Tiny.
I mean, go ahead.
Mm. I don't know how I feel about that, but I don't want to talk about them first. I don't want to bring it to black people. Let's bring it to white people first. So Seattle Seahawks offensive tackle, a former Seattle Seahawks offensive tackle, was arrested for felony domestic violence against his black girlfriend, allegedly during a manic episode where I guess he just blacked out, asked her to bow down and submit to him. She's black.
Wait, he's white?
Yes.
Oh.
And he just lost it. Broke her arm, beat her, choked her till she lost consciousness at least twice. And when she woke up the second time, he said, "Oh wow, you're alive." And while he was sitting there drinking a smoothie, like, and he ended up having to be tasered by the police, but he was peacefully arrested, even though he resisted arrest. And he's set to be arraigned on February 1st, either February 1st or February 9th. They were saying something about it being rescheduled. Um, as a result of this, he was cut from the team. Um, and I'm just making sure that everybody knows his name, because if it was Michael Vick, Ray Rice, um, what's the other one? Help me. What's the one that was stealing crab legs? Him. It was somebody that stole crab legs out of Publix. Like, but if he was black, everybody would know his name. So I want to make sure that we remember Chad Wheeler and that he gets the same negative notoriety that they would get. Now,
Wow.
for T.I.
Yeah.
and Tiny though.
Hold on, wait a minute. See, that I'm not gonna lie. I am open to dating outside of my race, but I'm kind of scared to date outside of my race because once you get a taste of this little chocolate dip, I don't want you to be going crazy. I don't want that. Mm, 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 mm. Uh, oh, shout out to Chad because he lost his mom.
Oh.
Yeah, he lost his mom, and I just found that out when I was on Instagram today because he had posted pictures of um, like the repass and older videos of her, and he had a horse-drawn carriage taking her through the neighborhood. And it
Oh,
was so
nice.
funny because he posted a video of some slippers that he had bought her. Of course, they were designer slippers because, he's a label whore.
Yeah.
But she got so excited. And so she was like, ah! And so she kicked her feet up and then she kicked the slippers. The slippers that she had on, she kicked them off. So whoever was in the background, they was like, oh, so now you want to just kick your Target slippers off. And so she was just like, haha, don't hate bitches. I was like, well, the apple don't fall too far from the tree. All right. But yeah, shout out to him and keep him in your prayers. I mean, he may be a little trouble, but everybody deserves a little prayer. But
Mhm.
losing a parent is very difficult, and I wouldn't wish that on anyone. I mean, we all have to go through it, but you know, we're never really prepared for it. So, oh,
Okay. I'll
all
just leave it
right.
at that.
Okay. Yeah.
I agree.
So yeah. Anything else? Oh yeah.
Okay.
Go
So
ahead.
T.I. and Tiny Harris are facing allegations of sex trafficking, drug, well, I don't know if you want to call it drug inducing, and rape by over 30 different females. Allegedly they've been
Oh,
having,
I only heard about one. It's 30.
it's 30. It's 30.
Oh, go ahead. Finish the story. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, you good. I feel you, and that's the only reason I'm talking about. If it was just one, I'm not that okay. I'm gonna need some corroboration or something like that. But once you start getting up into them numbers, y'all need to be in there with R. Kelly. So, and I'm not gonna say that it's true. I mean, it's 30, but haven't heard anything from him. I haven't seen any statements or whatever. I mean, I don't know. I think V told me he saw something on YouTube where what's her name?
Shekinah. Shekinah.
Shekinah made a live video denying allegations, and Ti made one as well denying the allegations. Um And when I was looking or doing the research for this story, I didn't see any of that. Um, I just saw that at some point, um, is it Rob Kardashian and Black China
Hmm.
had a threesome or yeah, mhm,
With
mhm,
them?
mhm, yes, and there was some payment exchanged, and there was no denial of that. The one girl said that Ti held a gun to her head.
Now that's
Um,
the one I saw
that's Sabrina.
speaking. Sabrina, exactly. Okay. So here's my thing with Sabrina's story. I know it's never too late to come
Mhm.
out to tell your, to tell your story. But 2 years,
Oh, I thought it was longer than that.
I heard 2 years. But why, if it bothered you just that much, if you were just that disturbed, and that they have such a high profile name, why wouldn't you admit it?
Yeah, so I don't know. I'm with you. I don't know what the turning point was or the trigger for this to come out. Um,
Because the way
but
she's speaking, she talking like it happened yesterday with conviction.
mm,
Sorry, go ahead.
no, you're fine because I really don't get into this part of it, like the celebrity stuff. I'm just like, and it's all because it's always somebody naming something. Somebody always did something, whatever. You never know, but I'm a little sensitive because
Because it's Tia,
yeah,
and it's,
yeah,
yeah, and that's the only reason why I use it. What?
right. Because I mean, I heard it too many times. I heard it too many times. I'm like, okay, I hear it once, okay, whatever. Twice, but everybody I'm talking to, they're like, girl, what's going on with Tia? Like, we really homies or something. But but I mean, I never would have expected that to be the allegation. But I mean, there are some very serious allegations here. From like I said, the sex trafficking, drugging the women, like they were being forced to take ecstasy. Um, there was a situation where a girl could barely walk. And there's some allegations of some of those girls being minors.
I don't believe it. I, j- I, I don't.
Okay.
In all honesty, I don't. I mean, because one, I mean, like, I'm not saying that it isn't possible because of their prior drug charges, or affiliation. I can see it, but I just don't. I don't know. As conscious as this man is, now her,
Hmm.
that's, yeah, Tiny, that's a whole nother story. You way over here. You over in the corner like my candle. Um, yeah, as conscious as he is, I just can't see him shutting off that part of his brain where he think that something like that as trafficking would be okay. I
Right.
just can't see it. I'm sorry.
I mean, and to me, I just wouldn't really expect that from him because he already has so many previous charges. That
Hmm.
I don't know if his record has been expunged or whatever he did, but he all right now. Like long as you don't do nothing else.
Hmm.
And for the few stories, a few accounts that I did read, it's in the past. And I'm not saying just forget about it, but I'm just saying, what is it about right now that's making this come out?
Right.
I mean, and I don't know if he's an ex felon or if he's still a felon. You can't have no gun. You already dealt with your gun charges, so
Hmm.
you better have a taser or something. You might not want to be dealing with a
Who
gun right
said a
now.
taser?
You know, I mean, I'm just saying. I'm hoping that it's all a ploy for money or something like that. I really don't want it to be Ti. Do
Did
not let
they?
it be Clifford Harris Jr. Okay,
Right. So I'm wondering, did they come? Are they coming out all at the same time? Where it's just like a trickle down effect?
pretty much.
I don't believe it. I don't. I'm sorry. That's just me. And if I'm being naive, I'm just being call me naive. But I don't believe it. I'm sorry.
Well, I just don't want to. I don't want to believe it. I don't want it to be true. So there's that. But stay tuned. All right, come on.
Oh, okay. So we have a new segment. Ding ding ding. Okay, we're doing question of the day. Okay. Now put your thinking caps on. It's not gonna take much thought into it, but
Hold on, before you get into the question. Let's see. I remember when Ti had a show, Hustle Family. Let's see what Hustle Families had an episode where he had a panel that had someone talk about trafficking. So
I'm saying that's why I just don't believe that this is true. I mean, again, as conscious as this man is, you just can't be like, oh, okay, well, y'all can't do it, but I'm gonna do it over here. I mean, even though some of his ways are a little contradictory, but I wouldn't say, but that's
human.
yeah, but I wouldn't. No, I can't. Okay, so on to the question of the day. Okay, so Aaron, what's one thing about yourself that you would have been too embarrassed to admit to 5 years ago that you would readily admit to today?
I can't do it all.
Okay, you would have been too embarrassed to admit that 5 years ago.
Yeah. Like, so that's the short version. Basically, I like if somebody asks me to do something or, gives me a task or whatever, and I can't do it or finish it, accomplish it or whatever, I would have just been stuck trying to figure out how to make it. But now I'm just like, you know what? I can't do it. Mm, I can't do it. I tried. It's not working. I can't do it.
Okay. Is that partly because, well, does that come, do you feel that that comes with age? Or is it that, hey, I just can't do it. I'm not about to put that on myself.
I think it's just an acknowledgement of like, okay, being human is okay. You're not going to be able to do everything you set out to do, everything that you say you're going to do. You're not going to be able to do it. And the best thing is to not continue to try to do something because now you're taking up time. Where now we've established you can't do it. Now we need to figure out how to get it done or whatever.
Okay. Cool.
So now to you, because there's two sides. I'm not answering the questions by myself.
Why not?
Okay, I went first.
So for me, something that I would not have admitted to 5 years ago is that I suffer from hair loss.
Hmm.
And I am just now, trying to get my hair back, which I'm proud of my progress. Because I'm sure you all have noticed that I'm always wearing a hat or I'm always wearing a turban. Yes, because little mama is yeah, I can't even describe what's under here. I have hair, but I have a large bald spot. And my edges were gone and I was embarrassed. And for years, which I didn't need it because growing up, I always had hair. I had hair all down my back. But in the 90s, they weren't teaching us or talk or discussing healthy hair care as they are today. So, you go to the hair salon.
Ooh, picture fail. It's all right.
It's okay. It's okay, Goldie. um,
Go to
yeah,
the hair salon.
right. You go to I went to the hair salon and I was getting hairstyles that I really didn't need. Um, Getting sew-ins and all that tension on my hair was taking my hair out. And my hairstylist that I was going to here in Georgia, in Atlanta, um, she wasn't promoting healthy hair care either. She was just about, oh, this hairstyle will work for you. And then she didn't tell me that I was losing my hairline until maybe 8 years after I had been sitting in her chair.
Mm.
And so there were times where I would be like, well, let me just cut all my hair off and let me just start from scratch, because hair, I've never been attached to my hair, even though I've always had, and I think that's probably why, because I've always had it. So it's just like, oh God, because like growing up, child, listen, my grandmother used to tell me, you are not cutting your hair until you get of age. Okay. So in the sixth grade, I wanted a mushroom so bad. Oh my God. I will never forget, I sat in that mirror and I took some old regular scissors and I cut all around my head. And to hide it, I put all that hair in the bottom of my drawer. Yeah. So I have been having a fascination with cutting my hair since the sixth grade. So up until what, maybe, no, when was that? 2000? 2000 was when I cut it short. I had like a bob. And what, I was 25? Yeah, 25. All the way up until I was 25, I would never cut my hair because my grandmother never wanted me to. So, then it got shorter and shorter, and then that's when I went to the hairstyles, the sew-ins and the tracks and all that other kind of stuff. But now, so finally, once the pandemic hit, I was like, oh great, I ain't got to get my hair done. Now's the time for me to try to restore something. So I went to the dermatologist, and she said that you have permanent hair scarring, but we could try to see if the hair will come back. Okay, so I am so proud to say that I have my edges growing back. Because before, I didn't even have this.
Mm-hmm.
Like I would have never shown at least this much of my hairline.
I know. I was noticing it, but I know how you are. So I was like, well, I'm not gonna mention it. I'm not gonna say
Yeah, so
anything.
I'm just like, okay, there's something, but I still suffer from the larger spot. Um, so if I can get at least a little bit of my hair to grow in, then I would just rock a fade. So I'll be fine with that. I don't even want hair. It's too overrated. I'm too old to have anything on my head. But would I have admitted this 5 years ago? Hell no. Mm-mm. I just would have slapped on a quick weave or a wig or something and kept it pushing. Do I miss those hairstyles? Absolutely, because that's one of the things I was known for.
Yes, it is. Yes.
But yeah, so that's my story. I
Yeah,
hope it
because
helps someone.
we've been friends for, I guess, what, this is 2021, so we're going on 11 years now.
Hmm.
And I don't think that I knew anything at all about your hair situation for until
This year.
this year. I got the full scope of it. But so I think it was maybe about a year, maybe 2 years. We'll say over the last 2 years, because you were kind of transitioning, changing your hairstyles a little bit, like, um, and I there was one point I didn't even know that you were wearing wigs and weaves like that. There was one point I didn't know. It's like, oh, okay, she get her hair done every week. But then once they started being different colors, I was like, oh, okay. But I still didn't think anything of it because some women just wear it for no reason.
Hmm. Hmm.
But congratulations on all of your growth, your internal growth and your new growth. Okay.
So yeah, so pray for me, saints, because I need this to grow in up over here so that I can just let it go. I'm just over the whole thing. So, oh well, thank you, Courtney. Yeah, that's it.
Okay then. Well, that was exciting. Um, so I'm gonna get one of these little questions. I think these are tied to relationships, but I'll ask you one anyway. And
What?
what's today? The 30th. Okay, yeah, we're about to go into Black History Month, so we're gonna get a black fact before we get up out of here too. Because you did not remind me to stay on point about these black facts. I got 50 52 cards. I've read one.
And I'm supposed to remind you of that?
I mean, we're a team. Teamwork makes the dream work.
But
We
we
are
not in the same
boys.
room. Okay, I'll make a note. I'm look, writing it down.
Thank you. Speaking of which, now that we're at the end of the show, number one, make sure that you guys are subscribed to the channel, and please check your notification bell and make sure that it's set to all so that you can get a notification every time we go live right here on this channel. That was actually an announcement I was supposed to make at the beginning, but nevertheless, it's made.
Oh, I didn't
And
get blown for that.
okay, I can't blame you because I have it written on my paper and I just didn't look at the paper. So I would blame you if I could, but to be honest, I can't.
Reading is fundamental.
Look here. Look here.
Go ahead.
All right. So, like I said, these are relationship based, and I don't even like these cards. I really got them for the show, but I reading is fundamental. Didn't realize that they were all relationship questions, but nevertheless, how long would you date someone before marriage became a requirement?
And you knew that this was the one? How long would you date someone before marriage became a requirement? I would say, like, if we really feeling each other, then I would say 6 months, but it just depends on on where you are in your relationship. I mean, because you know whether or not you feeling somebody, you can know after 6 weeks.
Yeah.
So it just depends. It's kind of hard to put a number on that.
And I agree. So to say, oh, 1 year, 2 years, it just depends, like you said. Now I would say that there has to be a conversation about marriage. I don't know at
Mm-hmm.
what point marriage becomes a requirement, because to me, when you say marriage is a requirement and it's not happening, now you're forcing something.
Okay, now I will say we ain't gonna be dating no 5 years,
Right.
and I don't have no ring, and we're not married. No, 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 no. Okay, so if we're gonna put a number on it, if after knowing my younger self, because now I ain't doing that 5 year crap. Nah. Mm-mm. When I was younger, okay, like case in point, me and Mister,
Mhm.
I told him, and this is specifically because we had already done a go round years ago. Now we were on our second round, and I told him, I said, "Look, I'm not doing this for 3 years. So you need to decide where it is that you want to be." Because by that third year, if we're not married, or if I at least don't even have a ring on my finger, you need to pick up and go.
Okay.
Hmm.
And again, I don't really have a number. It's still hard to come up with a number, generally speaking, because I
Hmm.
think it's relative to each relationship. She said, "Can I call in? Can I call in?" Lord.
Yeah, call the hotline.
Right.
555-1212.
Okay. But definitely there has to be some conversation. To me, honestly, and like at the age I'm at now, if I was single, the option for marriage is a requirement from the beginning of the relationship. The option, not that we're going to get married,
Hmm.
but the
To date with
understanding that,
intent.
yeah. And then once we get into the relationship, and I mean, it just depends on the flow, you know what I'm saying? Because like for me and V, it took us a little bit longer. We've been together for almost 4 years. And it took us a little bit longer because of the nature of our relationship. He's only here twice a month. You know what I mean? And we had some other things. Hey, Courtney,
Hey, good people.
to establish, but the conversation was there.
Mhm. Mhm. As long, I mean, and again, like we're saying, it's all relative to the couple. So as long as there is an understanding of some sort that, that's the end goal, great. But I'm not about to sit around and wait for you for so many years for you to decide whether or not you want to ish or get off the pot.
Oh yeah. Now that part
Mm-mm.
I can agree with. And like I said, it has to be the understanding that that's what we're working towards. Now, if we've been together for 2 years and then we get to a point and
I'm sorry.
really we get to a point and realize that it's not working, then I don't want to force anything. You know what I
Mhm.
mean?
Mhm.
But come
Mhm.
on, Courtney Jones.
Hello?
Why
Yes.
you
Yes.
turn your camera off?
Oh, girl, because I'm in my kitchen. I'm getting my dinner cooked. I'm actually almost done. But
Okay, so why we can't see it? I want to see. I'm hungry.
because y'all ain't put in on this, man.
Okay. Nevertheless, you called in for a reason.
Yeah, I
Come on.
did. Hey, put me on the hotline. Put me on the mic. But now I think the biggest thing, honestly, I ain't gonna lie to you. This is a crazy thing because I ain't gonna lie. Like, I think when you go through so much as a woman or even as an individual, when you had ups and downs, you had time after each relationship to me. I had time to kind of better myself and revamp myself for the next person. It's a lot of things I took from each relationship I've been in, good and bad, of what I'm not gonna do and what I will do for my next relationship. And I think sometimes when you had time to, for one, of course, Aaron, I'm spiritual. So one thing about me is like I prayed. Like after my last relationship, I took time for myself, and I actually had to meditate and get myself together. I had to pray and ask God, like, give me the desires of my heart. And I think that was the biggest thing. And sometimes when you find that person, it's crazy. Like it's crazy. It's like it's unreal when that person comes into your life. Like, of course, my situation, I would have never thought I would feel the way I feel about the guy I'm dating at all. It would have never crossed my mind that the guy I'm dating is over 200, 300 miles away from me right now. And I think when you pray and you see, and both y'all actually on the same level of what y'all want together, it makes it easier for y'all to walk in that relationship together instead of one person being on one page and somebody being on a different page, or y'all in the same book but on different chapters. Like one person's still trying to work on themselves, get themselves together, and the other person's already kind of had time to themselves, get themselves prepared for their spouse or their mate. And that's the thing is, with me and mine's like he was doing things on his end to get his life together, get his house together, and things like that. And me on this end, I'm doing the same thing with my end. So when we did meet each other, it was like we was kind of in the same walk of life. Instead of him still trying to be out in the streets and party, and I'm still ready to kind of settle down and get married and do what I need to do.
Hmm.
Mhm.
So I think
Mhm.
that's the biggest thing. When you both find somebody that y'all are both on the same wavelength and y'all both have an understanding of what y'all want off the rip, and y'all both have an understanding of okay, what it's going to take to get there. To me, it makes it a lot easier and effortless to actually be in a committed relationship with somebody. That's
Facts.
just that's just me.
Facts. Facts. Well, thank you for calling.
Right.
Thanks for having me. Thanks for having me, guys.
Let's see. 45 lies. They ask, can they call in also?
Yeah, y'all call on
Just
in on the
click
hotline.
the link.
777
93
93
11.
11.
Are we gonna do
Uh-uh.
karaoke on here one day?
No, 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 not no. I don't. No, 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 no.
Why?
Insert get out GIF right here. GIF. No, no, no,
Why?
no, no,
Am I invited, Courtney?
Yeah, you invited, girl. We about to crank one up. Just
no.
add, just add everybody in. Everybody know.
Lord.
But yeah,
All right.
it all depends on where everybody, you and that significant other is at in y'all lifetime. Like where y'all at, where y'all meeting each other at. Because if you got somebody that's still struggling on getting themselves together, then either you're gonna wait for that person to get themselves together, which you actually have a strong person that's willing to wait because they already see the potential in that person that they don't even see in themselves. And so sometimes it is a gamble to say, hey, this is somebody I want to be with, but right now they don't see it, but I'm willing to wait and walk them through that life together. And then you have some people that have already been through that and have sung that song about 3 different times. Say, look, I'm not gonna wait on nobody. They need to be on point when I meet them.
And that's where I am right now.
Oh, they need to be on point when you meet
They
them.
need to be on point, okay?
Yeah,
I mean, we're always in the process of bettering ourselves.
right.
You could always reinvent a better you, okay?
Exactly.
We're forever growing. But I don't want to be dealing with somebody who is living with roommates.
I think.
Or
Uh,
baby mamas.
or baby mamas.
Okay, can't do that.
Mm-mm.
Mm,
I don't want to be dealing with because you're looking at me dealing with somebody who is potentially 50 or better. I, I, I mean, I know things have happened. You lost your job, but where's what do you like to do? Are you just sitting around moping because you lost your job that you've had X amount of years? Like, is this all that you've known? You know what I'm saying? It's just, I need for you to be a little established. I do.
But I don't think that a roommate necessarily means
yeah.
that they're not established. Nah, if you living with your baby mama, then you ain't ready. You,
Right.
A 50-year-old with a roommate?
yeah.
Well,
No,
I think
no, ma'am.
my thing is this is like, and this is just me personally, is that as a woman, you always gonna want somebody that's gonna be able to provide for you, just like you're gonna, because women are more nurturing and men are providers. And my thing is, I'm not gonna say that they can't have a roommate. I think they need to have some type of independency, because you can have a roommate and still have that independent. You can still be able to take care of yourself. But my thing is that if you constantly having somebody, if you've never lived on your own, then you're not gonna know what it's like to struggle. You're
Oh,
not.
well, that's something different. So, for me, I'm just talking about, if it was a 50-year-old guy and he has a roommate, I
This
would have to know more about the situation. How long have
right.
y'all been living together? Is that roommate your mama? you know, or, what was the
What's the reason
situation?
why you have a roommate?
Yeah, because it could be something like, well, I've been a bachelor for so long. I live in a 3-bedroom house. I let my nephew come and stay. He contribute to the rent,
That's different.
but that's still a roommate.
No, but that's a little different. Like if you're a homeowner,
Hmm.
okay, you want to say like you got some expenses that you want to be able to take care of. Okay, let me go ahead and rent this room out for a year, so I can come up, do what I got to do. That's fine, but you're still a homeowner.
Oh, okay, but I
But if
mean
you
that's still
renting,
having a roommate too. But okay, so what about an apartment?
no, ma'am.
But okay.
Call
I'm
me
just
bougie. Call
saying,
me bougie if
okay,
you want
so
to.
the thing
Mm-mm.
is that okay, so he cannot, so he needs to have a mortgage. So the guy, you have to, but the thing is that what you're asking for, you better be providing the same thing. Because if you expect a man to have a mortgage, do you have a mortgage?
I mean, no, not
Exactly.
now.
But you're having your standards set higher than what you're not doing right now either. I'm not trying to get on you, but what you're asking for, you got to be able to either match that or exceed what you're asking for.
Okay, I do believe that I should be able to bring something to the table. Absolutely.
Right.
But
But what if
one,
he has that same mentality? Like, though you're expecting him to have a mortgage, but what if he's expecting his girl to have a mortgage? She needs to have her own place. She don't need to be renting. I'm
no,
not.
I'm saying in the form of having a roommate. Now, if you're just single and you have an apartment, that's fine. But
Okay, I
if
just want to
you
make
have,
sure. Okay.
yeah, but if a roommate and you sharing an apartment, one one thing and one thing only, you better have just sold your house or you sold your house. And say like you went through a divorce and it was too much and it was just you and so you got rid of the house.
Oh,
But a
mm,
roommate,
I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that one because I honestly, it wouldn't bother me because I knew that that was something temporary, not permanent. That's the only thing that could be changed. Him living in an apartment, his living situation can change instantly. That does not necessarily change the person he is. So I look at who the person is, not what their living situation is. And that's just me. Because at the end of the day, if my boyfriend had an apartment and he had a roommate, I wouldn't look at him no different, because once we get together and we have that marriage, he's not going to have an apartment no more. We're going to look forward to getting a house. Now, the only thing is that the only reason I would like that situation is because, say, for instance, that would give us the opportunity. If I had my apartment, he had a roommate or whatever like that. For one, that's actually, to me, in a economical thing. I was like, Dad, that means he's gonna have bread stacked up because he's not paying all his expenses by himself. That's one thing. You should, if you have somebody else living with you and you splitting bills down straight down the line, that means he's gonna have some more bread, which means that that's gonna be bigger income that y'all gonna have. So when y'all do decide to get married, that means that he can at least have a nest egg for his future with his wife. Now, another thing is, even if he had his own apartment, you had your own apartment, that does kind of give y'all on a playing field together. Y'all can invest in a home together instead of him already having his own house and you're moving into his house.
I get that. I totally agree with that. If I were your age, but 10 years older, I'm sorry. I don't know. I just have this mindset like if you're 50, you should be a little bit more established than that. I just can't see a roommate because one, you got a roommate, we ain't gonna be knucking and bucking at your house.
Mm,
But my thing is that if he's that serious about you, he will go ahead and seal that down with you, so he can get out of his roommate situation and nuck and buck with you at y'all on house.
No, I agree with you being able to come together, eventually coming together.
But
But
if he's
just
by himself, then you're not looking for that.
not an apartment. I'm sorry. That's just me. Call me bougie. Not gonna do it. Not gonna be able to do it.
So okay, let me put it to you. Okay, so let me ask you this: you have your own property. He
Mhm.
has his own property. So who's moving? Who's gonna live with who?
Depends on who has a better house. I mean, cause like for me, I know that I want to. Cause I just told myself that by 50, I want to be in my own. I want to be in a house.
All right.
Um, I'm open to a condo, but I'm not really sure because I feel like I want a house. Like I want a garage, I want all of that. But if I were to have a condo, if I were to get involved with someone and we did get married and we decided that we wanted to buy a house, that'll be rental property. So I would be open to it. I mean, but it just depends on who has the better house. But then again, is that house wheelchair accessible? Because that does play a part.
Right, but so he should. So the investment that he just made on his property, he should give it up for you because his home is not wheelchair accessible. But at the same time, you just said that he needs to have his own house.
I mean, but if he want, I mean, well, I know going in that most men, at least the ones that I've met,
Mm-hmm.
most men who are homeowners, they will typically have like a two-story home.
Mm-hmm.
Um, unless he's looking to convert it to make it accessible for me, which I think would be a big stretch because that's not just getting into the home, but now you're talking about the two stories inside of the home. So the likelihood of being able to convert that to make it accessible for me, that's going to be a lot. You may as well just buy a whole new house. So either we go into it buying a house together or we move into my property. What? I'm not understand. What's
Go. Or you want me
let's see. If you ask God to send you someone that He has for you, and you wait on Him, He will put them in your life.
absolutely
to? Yes, he will.
okay? Well, I guess I'm in this alone, but hey, I'm
Cause how
speaking
do you
from
feel about it?
someone in a wheelchair. Okay,
Cuz how do you feel about it though? You just sat quiet. I'm taking over the show. I'm sorry.
She
I
really
mean,
did.
yeah, because that's
Oh,
why I was quiet. Like,
Come on, cuz. Yeah.
I mean, I just think that that's a lot. I don't know. I
what
don't
I'm
think that it's
asking for?
balanced. Yeah, I don't
Yeah.
think that it is balanced. You know what I mean? Like, if I was single and dating and ran into a guy who has a roommate in an apartment. Now, if it would be conversation about it. I'm not just going, "Hey, what's your name? Tony. Okay. What's your living situation? Oh, I stay in an apartment with a roommate. Oh, click." Like, no.
No, I'm not saying that that's what I would do. Of course, there would be conversation. Okay, how long have you all been staying together? Why are you staying together? What are your plans as far as attaining your own separate home? No, I'm not saying that. Oh, you get cut off at the knees immediately. No, I'm gonna talk about it because I'm nosy. I'm gonna ask.
It's almost like you going into it with an interview. Instead of him being able to have the opportunity to explain to you what it is, it's like you're demanding to have answers answered on your term. And
But
it's
that's
like sometimes it's like I think the biggest thing is you never know what somebody just went through before they met you.
so. Why wouldn't you ask that? That's what you do when you first meet somebody. Anyway, you go through an interview portion of it, Q&A.
Mhm.
Yeah, I get that, but I also get to the point where sometimes personal stuff is real personal because the thing is that to me is I'm very private about a lot of stuff, and Aaron will tell you that I'm a very private person. I let people know exactly what I want them to know, when I want them to know, and how much I want you to know. And so if I feel that, and if you meet somebody that's kind of like that, when you got somebody just kind of coming at you with a million and one questions, like 50 Cent song, it's gonna be like you're gonna immediately start to shut down.
Then you're
No,
not ready to date.
right. I was just about to say that because if
But it's
you,
not even.
especially if you're meeting someone, those are questions that you are going to have an answer for.
Right, but you're
Because
gonna have to have that answer for the right person, not just for anybody that somebody just comes and asks you, "Hey, what you got going on? And it's gonna be like a played record. Like, with me and my situation, I told my man up front everything I had. So it's nothing that's like you can ask him or, "Hey, look, let me tell you about your girl." He gonna be like, "Oh yeah, I already told I already know that about her." But sometimes if you meet the right person that genuinely wants to know this stuff and not just to know it just to be nosy, then it's easier for them to be receptive on sharing that information with you.
But she not just running up to some random guy like, "Hey, what's your living situation?" This is a guy where, you already understand we have a vibe, we have a connection, or, we're trying to establish a connection. You know what I mean? Like, you going to have to ask questions.
I guess sometimes I just sit back and I just kind of see exactly how you move, and I move accordingly to that. And if I feel like,
That's how you waste time.
and I kind of fade it back.
hello,
But you
hello,
should,
wait. Say that again for the people in the back. Say it again
Yeah,
for the people in the back.
I'm not sitting back like,
not for
okay,
a long period of time, but
let me see
within
how
a
this
couple of
go.
minutes of knowing somebody, yeah, you kind of feel that out. But at the same time, I just feel like, mm,
Mm, I ain't got time for that. Look, good. Look, we matching now.
Right.
Lord. But yeah, you
Mm-mm.
better have that house. He better tell you we got a mortgage.
I'm not saying that he has to have a mortgage. I'm just saying, as a roommate, if you are in a house, it I would prefer that it be your own, and you building up your little nest egg to be able to do what you want to do. But if it's an apartment,
But what if his credit wasn't good? There's a lot of reasons why people can't get a mortgage.
and again, it can depend on the situation. That's the part of the Q&A. Let's uncover that because you never know. You may, and vice versa. I'm not saying that I'm coming into this completely fault free. No, I can maybe able to lend you some advice and vice versa. Like, oh, okay, you got stuck here. You know what? I experienced that too. And this is what I had to do. Nugget for nugget.
Gotcha. Thank you, Miss Bougie. You coming around?
Lord
Dang.
have mercy. All
Okay.
right. Well,
All right, you people.
all right, Courtney Jones. Appreciate you for stopping by. I'm
Thank
gonna
you
get
for
ready
letting
and
me
wrap
let me
this.
call in.
Yeah, you're welcome. Call in anytime.
Well done. All right, y'all have a good night.
All right, you too, cuz.
Bye.
All right, love you. Bye.
Love you too.
Y'all better talk like I'm on the phone.
Yeah.
Right.
Bye. Just beep out. But all right, so let me give you this black fact and then we'll get up out of here. So card number 2. Where we at? Angela Davis. Oh, her birthday. Happy belated birthday. So her birthday is January 26th. She was born in 1944. She's still alive. Good news. She's a political activist, academic scholar, and author, the leader of the Communist Party USA in the 1960s, advocate for prisoner rights. She co founded Critical Resistance, an organization working to abolish the prison industrial complex. Membership in the Communist Party led to former Governor of California, Ronald Reagan's request in 1969 to bar her from teaching at any university in California. She conducts research on feminism, African American studies, critical theory, Marxism, popular music, and social consciousness. Twice a candidate for vice president on the Communist Party USA ticket during the 1980s. Once again, that is Angela Davis, and that is your black fact for this week. I am going to commit to do this every week, whether Lovey reminds me or not.
Wait, that going back to her, she was banned from teaching? Is that what
Mhm.
it said? Really? Because she was a professor at UC Santa Cruz in California. She was teaching there for a minute.
Mhm.
Okay, I'm just
I mean, I know you would know it's California related,
right.
but
Hmm.
hey, I'm just
Okay.
reading the cards.
Okay.
But all
Okay.
right, any closing thoughts? We have overstayed our welcome a little bit longer, but that's all right. I think that was healthy
I mean, because
dialogue
Courtney
discussion.
trying to make it seem like I was Miss Bougie Queen, but it's okay. I still love you, girl.
More like bougie princess, but
I'll be that.
I know it.
But nobody can tell me that I'm not a hustling bougie princess.
I feel you. Oh, hustling, and then the Chanel and who else is on there? Chanel. So that's the bougie part.
Yeah. Mhm.
Fashion book,
Mhm.
and then is there something on the other one in between?
Yeah.
No.
Yes. There is Louis Louis Vuitton
Oh,
and
okay.
Yves Saint Laurent.
Oh, okay. All right
Do I
then.
need to change the color?
You just wanted to show off your ring like
Oh, you
anyway.
can kind of see it right
No,
here. The
let me
Yves
make
Saint
sure.
Laurent. Oh, there we go.
Oh, yeah, it's just light. But all right, we're going to get up out of here. As always, good people, thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you for rocking with us. And to those of you who made it through this extra 23 minutes that we took up, we appreciate you. Don't forget, this is the Saturday Sit Down. We do this every weekend, every Saturday, 8:30 p.m. Don't forget, whenever the show is running, I do drop the link now. So just feel free to click in and join the conversation, kind of like Courtney did. Um, I
Call
can
in.
have up to, right, call in. I can have up to 10 people at one time. So I may or may not, but allow 10 people. We'll kind of rotate. But nevertheless, we will see you guys next weekend, Saturday sit down, 8:30 p.m. Y'all have a great week. Stay safe, social distance, double mask. All right. We out.